Yeah, good morning, students. Again, welcome back to this lecture on pericyclic reactions. Now we will see the orbital representations of Diels-Alder reaction. How we can represent them. Right. So it is a reaction between diene and dienophile. It is a reaction between diene and dienophile. Generally, the HOMO of diene, sorry, HOMO of diene and LUMO of dienophile will react with each other. So for a butadiene, HOMO is Psi2. For ethene, again LUMO is Psi2. Right? So it is Psi2 HOMO, LUMO, again it is Psi2. That in an ethene, this is the Psi2. In butadiene, this is the Psi2. We have one node here. So when we look at the molecular orbital approach for this Diels-Alder reaction, yes, both are both the bonds are suprafacial bonding interactions, right? So this is suprafacial bonding interaction. This is again suprafacial bonding interaction. So both are suprafacial bonding interactions. That means it is a very facile reaction at high temperatures. Right? Similarly, this is the normal Diels-Alder reaction where uh, diene reacts with its HOMO, dienophile reacts with its LUMO. So it is a normal Diels-Alder reaction. Even the reverse is also possible. That means HOMO of the diene and LUMO of the dienophile. The reverse is also possible, but very rare. Okay. So when we look at the other reactivity, what is LUMO of butadiene? It is Psi3, where we have two nodes. What is the HOMO of ethene? It is Psi1, right? HOMO of ethene is Psi1. LUMO of butadiene is Psi3. So these two are positive lobes. Here we have two nodes, right? So one will be here, one will be here. So when we look at this reaction, that means HOMO of dienophile and LUMO of diene. Again, both the interactions are suprafacial. We are not rotating any orbital, right? So both same phase orbitals are approaching for the bond formation. So it is called suprafacial bond formation. That means both the mechanisms, HOMO of diene and LUMO of diene, normal Diels-Alder reaction, which is very facile. This is inverse electron demand Diels-Alder. This is also possible, but it is very rare. Okay, I will explain why it is very rare also. Yeah, please take these orbitals. Therefore, this is called 4 pi s plus 2 pi s. What is this s? Out of the two bond formations, both are suprafacial. So that is why I'm writing 4 pi s plus 2 pi s. If it is one is antarafacial, we can represent 4 pi s plus 2 pi a. Okay, s represents for suprafacial, This must be small s, it's not a capital S. A represents antara phase. So 4 pi s plus 2 pi s reactions are very, very facile under thermal conditions. Right. I'll also tell you why the normal Diels-Alder reactions are feasible, whereas inverse electron demand Diels-Alder reactions are not feasible based on the energy levels. See, yeah, when we have diene, sorry, and dienophile energy levels, so it is psi 1, psi 2, psi 3, psi 4. So this is the mean energy level. Similarly, when we have dienophile, it has two orbitals, psi 1 and then psi 2. Now you look at these two things. So in case of dienophile, it is HOMO, it is LUMO. In case of dienophile, it is HOMO, this is LUMO. Right. Now we will compare the energy differences between HOMO of diene and LUMO of dienophile. When you compare the differences with energy differences, this energy difference is small compared to this energy difference. You just look at the energy orbitals. The gap between these two is small, so just length, whereas the gap between these two is large. So that means the energies of Psi2 and Psi2 of diene, HOMO of diene and LUMO of dienophile are similar to each other, so they can easily approach each other, so they can easily form a bond between them. Whereas the energy differences between HOMO of dienophile and LUMO of diene are very high compared to the previous case. Now it is difficult for them to approach each other and to have a bonding interaction for them. So that is why normal Diels-Alder reactions are easily possible, whereas inverse electron demand Diels-Alder reactions are not possible. Okay, so this is a normal Diels-Alder reactions, whereas this is for inverse electron demand Diels-Alder. So there are very few examples for inverse electron demand Diels-Alder reactions. Even I don't know. I don't give you any example for this inverse electron demand Diels-Alder reactions. So here we can write that sentence, right? Diels-Alder reactions occur between HOMO of diene and LUMO of dienophile. HOMO of diene and LUMO of dienophile. Right. Please take a snapshot. I'll change this page. Okay. So we have seen that 4 pi s plus 2 pi s are possible. Now we will simply check whether 2 pi s plus 2 pi s is possible or not. That means a reaction between two ethene molecules, whether it is possible or not under thermal conditions. When we have ethene, of course, as I said earlier, one molecule will react with the HOMO, another molecule will react with the LUMO. One molecule will react with the HOMO, another molecule will react with LUMO. So, for example, what is HOMO? HOMO is Psi1, LUMO is Psi2. HOMO, there are no nodes, LUMO, there are nodes. See, this is bonding interaction. This is suprafacial bonding interaction. Right. But whereas this is not a bonding interaction, it is anti-bonding interaction. It is anti-bonding interaction. Now, the reaction possible or not? It's not possible, right? Because one molecular orbital, one bond formation, yes, it is following suprafacial bond formation, whereas the other, it is not following superficial bond formation. It is giving anti-bonding interaction. When anti-bonding interaction is there, uh, there will not be a bond formation between these orbitals. So you can clearly say 2 pi s plus 2 pi s, it is not possible under thermal conditions. Under thermal conditions, it is not possible. For example, shall we try 2 pi s plus 2 pi a? 2 pi s plus 2 pi a. We will just check. Okay. Even 2 pi s plus 2 pi a also, one should be HOMO, one should be LUMO. Yes, this is suprafacial. This is possible. If this orbital can rotate, then it will give antarafacial bond formation. But yes, so 2 pi s plus 2 pi a under thermal conditions it is possible. But do you think that only a two carbon chain can allow this orbital to rotate? No, it is not possible, right? It is a very short chain. So the two carbon system cannot allow this orbital to rotate and then undergo in anthrafacial bond formation. So what we can say here is 2 pi s plus 2 pi a bond formation is, yeah, it is allowed according to the principles, but practically it is not feasible. Okay, practically it is not possible, but according to principle, yes, according to the rules, it is possible, but practically it is not possible. Okay, right. So 2 pi s plus 2 pi s under thermal conditions are not possible, whereas 2 pi s plus 2 pi a are, in principle, they are possible, but practically, yes, this reaction doesn't occur. Then, when we expect a pericyclic reactions, there is a simple logic. When the total number of pi electrons, when the total number of electrons are simply pi electrons, is an Huckel number. Huckel number, in case of aromatic chemistry, we used to discuss Huckel number. If we have 6 pi electrons, 10 pi electrons, 14 pi electrons, those are called Huckel numbers, right? Then those reactions takes place under thermal conditions. So if the total number of pi electrons are Huckel numbers, then that reaction can occur under thermal conditions. Okay. For example, 4 pi s plus 2 pi s. Yes. It, total we have 6 electrons, so it is a Huckel number. So this reaction is possible. If we have 6 pi s plus 4 pi s, yes, together we have 10 pi electrons, which is an Huckel number. Then also it is possible to have a reaction. If it is 8 pi s plus 2 pi s, then also it is possible because altogether we have 10 electrons. So we can have a pericyclic reaction between 8-membered carbon chain and 2-membered carbon chain. Right. If there is a reaction between 14 pi a plus 2 pi s, of course altogether it is 16 electrons. 16 electrons is not an Huckel number. Right. So if it is a 14 pi s plus 2 pi s, yes, the reaction will not occur. But if it is 14 pi a, because 14 pi electrons, that means 7 carbons. When we have 7 carbons, a minimum of 7 carbons or more than that, then it is possible for the orbital to rotate and can involve in antarafacial bond formation. Can involve in antarafacial bond formation. So that is why it is possible. If it is 14 pi s plus 2 pi s, yes, it is not possible because it is not a Huckel number. But if we have an antarafacial bond formation, then it is possible, like here. Here it is, in principle, it is possible, but practically not possible. Here, yes, this reaction will occur practically also. If you have a 7-membered chain and 2 carbon chain, then there can be a pericyclic cycloaddition reaction under thermal conditions. Yeah, 2 pi s plus 2 pi s, it is not possible because it is not a Huckel number. 4 pi s plus 2 pi a, antarafacial bond formation, yes, it is not possible. 4 pi s plus 2 pi s is possible, but not 4 pi s plus 2 pi a. Similarly, 2 pi s plus 2 pi a is possible. 4 pi s plus 2 pi a is possible. Okay. Of course, in principle, it is possible. Now we will see some examples for pericyclic reactions. These are the reactions. As I said, Diels-Alder reaction must occur between a butadiene and diene. diene and a dienophile. When we look at the stereochemistry of diene, see it is S trans. What is S? S is the single bond. This is the single bond. Trans, because the two groups are opposite to each other around this single bond. This is called S trans. So if you want to have a pericyclic cycloaddition reaction, S trans will not involve in Diels-Alder reaction. Whereas it is only possible a Diels-Alder reaction with S cis. S cis. So butadiene, of course, it is stable in the S trans configuration, whereas S cis is unstable because of the sterical repulsion. But still, to some extent, say for example 90 is to 10, there will be an equilibrium between S trans and S cis. When we use butadiene in a Diels-Alder reaction, whatever the compound is in S cis configuration, that will undergo Diels-Alder reaction. That will undergo Diels-Alder reaction. So the product is, of course, it will be a stereochemical center. We are not into that stage yet, right? So we will discuss the stereochemistry later, right? So when we have S trans, it is not possible for to involve in Diels-Alder reaction, whereas S cis can involve in Diels-Alder reaction. So for example, if 10% is involved in reaction, then equilibrium is disturbed, right? So to maintain the equilibrium, some of the S trans now will be converted to S cis. That involve in Diels-Alder reaction. Now again, some of the S trans will be converted to S cis because there should be an equilibrium. So this is how a simple butadiene, though it is S trans is more stable, but less stable S cis will involve in Diels-Alder reaction. Please take the notes along with me. This is an S trans diene, so it will not involve in Diels-Alder reaction. Similarly, this is again as trans diene, it will not involve in Diels-Alder reactions. Just now, a simple acyclic butadiene, which will exist in equilibrium with S cis, that can undergo Diels-Alder reaction, whereas cyclic systems are rigid. There is no possibility for the equilibrium between S cis and S trans. So here only S trans is possible. There is no equilibrium with S cis. So in that case, because we do not have no S cis isomer, these structurally rigid cyclic systems, if they are S trans configuration, they don't undergo or they don't involve in cycloaddition reactions. Now I'll give some examples for dienes, some examples for dienophiles. As I said, dienes must be activated by electron releasing substituents. So dienes are activated by electron releasing substituents. I'll give some examples. Right. So if we have methyl butadiene, it is more reactive. This is E configuration, whereas the Z configuration, it is less reactive because it involves in spherical crowding, so it is little unstable. Then, which is even less reactive compared to this, because here both the double bonds are in the Z configuration, so they are less reactive. Similarly, these are some of the examples for dienes. I'm not giving comparison here. These are some of the examples for S-cis dienes. Of course, because they are substituted, they are having electron releasing substituents. These are all reactive dienes. These are all reactive dienes because they have electron releasing substituents. They are all reactive dienes. When we look at the comparison, reactivity comparison, so terminal substituted is more reactive than internal substituted. And if you have more number of substituents, then they are even more reactive. When we have withdrawing group, this is less reactive. Okay. So terminal is more substituted because it is Z configuration, it is less reactive. I'll give you two more examples for reactive dienes. OTMS. It is called Danishevsky diene. Because it is having two oxygen substituents, it is even more reactive. Similarly, if we have OTBS and a nitrogen here, it is called Raval's diene. These are having electron releasing substituents, so they are more reactive in Diels-Alder reactions. It is called Brassard's diene. These are all more reactive dienes.